guys, Isa here, and I am filming this a little bit differently today because I'm filming it in the throes of a major lockdown here in Sydney. And I know that many cities across Australia, in fact, many across the world, are going through a similar situation. Now, for some of you, like some of us here in Sydney, we were probably getting used to life coming back to almost normal, and then this was the spanner in the works. And it can be tough for a lot of people. For others out there, you've had it hard. You've been through several lockdowns, and you might just have lockdown fatigue by now and be exhausted by it all. And you could be anywhere in between. Yeah. One thing for sure is this whole situation is difficult for everybody. It is not something anyone wants as a part of their life, but it is here. And at the moment, we don't see a clear end to it right now. Yeah, we're making some progress, which is great, but we don't see a clear end to it right now. So it is a time when you go into a lockdown, or when there's a spike in pandemic cases across your area. It is a time for you to stop, have a look at your situation, reassess, and concentrate on the things that are most important for you. Yeah, and whether that be your family, whether that be your hobbies, whether that be your work, it is a time for you to reflect, look back. Today, like I said, it's a little bit different. I wanted to give you something that could possibly be useful in this time. Something that, after, particularly if you're in lockdown like me at the moment, and, kids are driving you mental, because mine are. I don't know about you, but mine are. And if yours aren't, maybe you'd like mine for a little while. But no, I'm loving having some time with them most of the time. Yeah. But I did think, today I wanted to share something a little bit different. I was racking my brain. What do I do? What can I share with you? And I thought, well, what do I like to do? Or what did I like to do when we went into lockdown last time? And the thing that I like to do was take the chance and opportunity to get organized in my household, get organized in my life. And, I was more successful at some parts of the organization than I was at others. But it's also a good time to take an opportunity to get organized with regards to your finances, and in particular, your property portfolio. Now, it can sound like a big project. So in this video, I just wanted to concentrate on a simple thing. Yeah, something simple to start with. And if it's something that you like, then let me know and I'll keep going. Yeah, but sometimes when you're given something that's a huge task, it's all too daunting. It's too much because you've got other things to organize. You've got kids to take care of in the background. You've got work that you got to try to do whilst trying to do it from home and be inspired and motivated to do it. So I know what that's like. So I thought I'd keep it really simple. And if I was to give you one tip, if you are in the midst of lockdown in particular, and you wanted to take on something so that you emerge from lockdown, a little bit more ahead, have a little bit more of an advantage, then what I will say when it comes to your property portfolio, I'm not going to give you organization tips when it comes to your wardrobe or, your pantry, but when it comes to your property portfolio, take this time to understand where you stand, to really understand where you stand. In Australia, the market in many areas has completely taken off. Not all areas, but many areas has completely taken off. So if you already have property at the moment, it would be really good to take this time to understand where you currently sit, where it is you currently sit. So what do I mean by that? Look at your existing properties, and I'm talking about your investment properties. Well, then we'll talk about the home, First of all, look at your investment properties and get an assessment of how much you think they're currently worth. Now, not what you think, what a valuer or a real estate agent or the bank thinks they're currently worth in this market, with everything that's happened at the moment. So understand how much they think it's worth in this market, preferably a bank if you can, or a lender in general. And I will point out, if you don't have them, we can do that for you. So come to us and we can have that sorted out for you. Understand what your properties are currently worth and assess what yields they're currently getting you. So if they were previously worth, let's say 2 years ago, they were worth one of the properties was worth $600,000. And with the surge that's happened recently, it's now worth $800,000. Woohoo! Yeah. But remember, that extra 200 grand that you've made is actually not worth anything until you've defined that and until you are actually able to do something with that. So understand how much you're worth and then work out the yields. Now, yields are not based on what you owe on the property, it's based on the value of the property. So if it's now worth $800,000 and you should be receiving, if you were looking at good yields, you should be receiving $800 or close to $800 a week or more in rent. And if you are not, which in many cities here in Australia, because of the surge that has happened, especially, and in cities like Sydney, it's been this way for a little while, you may not be receiving anywhere near that kind of yield. So, if it's worth 800, you want to be receiving 800 a week. If it's worth, 900, you want $900 a week, 900,000, you want $900 a week in rent. If it's worth 500,000, you want $500 a week or more in rent. If you're not getting that ratio, which is equal to 5.2% for the, math heads out there, then you need to know that here is an opportunity for you either to find a way to increase your yields, or if that is difficult to do, which in a lot of cities at the moment, that is difficult to do, or what you need to understand is that your next investment, we should be searching for something that does seek those yields, that really does get those yields. And you need to understand what's your current position. Are you able to afford something? I'm not saying to go out and buy it, but can you understand where you sit? If you had to buy something, if your life depended on you investing right now and it was make or break, and it would be the difference of changing your whole world if you were able to buy the next investment property, well, where do you sit? What's your affordability? Can you do that? And how do you do that? Well, get in contact with us or speak to a finance professional to work that out. I'd even consider speaking to a couple of finance professionals because this market is absolutely cray-cray at the moment. And you might get different opinions, okay? So understand where you sit, understand where your properties sit, and understand what your capacity is to invest further in this market right now. Now, I go back to the yields. So let's say your yields fall quite short, of that 5.2% at the moment, and you worked out there's not a huge amount that you can do to borrow further to buy another investment property. Then the next step would be, we know that you've got, or let's say, for example, we found out that you've got some equity sitting in your existing property. Work closely with your finance professional to see how much of that equity you can access. I'm not saying that you have to get it out, but I'm saying put yourself in the position to be able to access it, because that money can go away overnight, I'm not saying that this bubble is going to burst, because it may or it may not, but right now it's just soaring. But should the market take a turn, you've just lost the opportunity of that profit that you have made, unless you obviously sell your property. And if you sell your property, that is actually a guaranteed opportunity to lose some profits, because you face things such as taxes, some capital gains tax, etc. So I want you to understand how much of that equity you can access, and then speak to us, and we can actually work out a plan for you to use that equity to either continue to build more income, or to put that equity in a position that will actually help you pay down potentially some of your own home loan, okay? So there are deeper strategies towards that. I know it sounds a little bit vague, but like I said, this video is a little bit different today. But I wanted to give you one thing to do, and that was to understand your position right now and understand your equity position in particular, because that is money sitting in your pocket, but it will disappear overnight if you don't do something with it. Okay, because it's not real until it's real. I hope that all makes sense. You got any questions, type it in the comments. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button with the little bell notification, and let us know what it is you would like us to answer next. I'm really sending a lot of love out there to a lot of you that have been affected by this situation. And, I hope you stay strong, get through it, and focus forward. Focus on the things that you have in your control. Focus on the things that matter to you, and be kind to yourself. Make a difference for yourself, and be kind to others. Speak to you soon.